Had no choice this morning. Telling 9 News they were running for their lives when gusty winds ignited a simmering bushfire, sending it straight for them.
As bad as it gets, that is the start warning from the Rural Fire Service in New South Wales. Today is Tuesday.
This hour, though, is the fire burning in Sydney's north at South Turramurra. Residents have been advised it is too late to leave.
Up to 40 properties have been wiped out around the town of Rappville in the state's north by a blaze firefighters have described as unstoppable. As residents told 9 News they've lost everything, police were investigating whether the devastating fire was deliberately lit.
They spent a day fighting for their lives and properties, but most of them have nothing left. Up to 30 properties, memories and animals all gone.
Johnny Johnson's place is gone. Melanie Small's place is gone. They're all gone.
I've only got some man and his dog. That's all I've got.
Nothing was spared. They're lucky to have escaped the inferno themselves.
I thought I was going to die. I messaged my mum saying I love you and all that. Yeah, I thought I was bored. It was bad.
The hot, dry bush a monster stirs. Flames leap the muddy road, sparing nothing in their path. What's happening here is the biggest concern for firefighters. Blazes here have been sparked by embers moving ahead of the fire front. That is actually 2 kilometres in that direction, but with these winds being so unpredictable, this is the result.
See behind me, or perhaps not seeing very much behind me at all. This thick blanket of smoke has settled over the city in the early hours of this morning, and it's really taking a while to budge. There's really very little wind at the moment. It's being driven from those fires that are coming from the northwest of the city, the outskirts. The Gospers Mountain fire that's been burning now for several weeks. So that's the smoke that's coming into the city is from that fire. We are likely to see some change to conditions later today with a southerly, but that's also going to be proving problematic for the
You'll put it in the blanket and bring them out of the hot stuff.
今天晚上在巴乐居酒楼举行新州华人华侨赈济山林大火晚会。灾难当前，让我们携起手来，发扬一方有难八方支援的优良传统，让我们和驻在国一起共度难关。
ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. My name is Dr. Van Tan. Good evening. 尊敬的女士们、先生们，尊敬的各位来宾，晚上好。我是陈新慧医生，我是华贸会的执行董事，我是华贸会的执行会主席。It is my great honor and a privilege to be here with you this evening. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge the Gadigal of the Eora Nation, the traditional custodian of the elders, both past and present. Thank you, Auntie Donna. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to the Honorable Jonathan O'Day, Speaker of the New South Wales Legislative Assembly, and the Honorable Chris Min, the Shadow Minister for Transport and Correction. 同时允许我表达对 Jonathan O'Day 及 Chris Min 能够参加出席的由衷欢迎和诚挚的敬意。Thank you for your support, Mr. O'Day and Mr. Min. Also, welcome to the Honorable Philip Ruddock, Friends of Chinese, Mayor of the Hornsby Shire. I think everyone knows that he was also Minister for Immigration and Multicultural Affairs in John Howard's government. So he knows some things of what the Australian Chinese community is going through, especially in this current environment. It is no secret that relations between Australia and China are strained at the moment. This event is to put on by the Chinese community so that we can give back to Australia, which have been very good to us. 出于对一片土地的热爱，在澳的华人华侨团体自发地组织了本场赈济活动。在这次的生灵火灾面前，我们团结一致，共抗难关，贡献一切，一份我们应尽的力量，以实际的行动来表达对这个国家的热爱。We want to show the rest of the Australia that we love this country and have made it our home. I'm a proud Australian Chinese. I was born in Malaysia and was very lucky to immigrate to Australia in 1974 when I was 19 years old. I came to study medicine at the University of New South Wales. I feel incredibly fortunate to still be here in Sydney 45 years later. My wife and I and our 5 children who were born in Sydney are very proud to call Australia home. 我本人是澳大利亚的华人。我为我的身份骄傲和自豪。我出生于马来西亚，我19岁的时候到澳大利亚，随后以新南威尔士大学就读医科。时光如梭，一晃45年已经过去了。至今回想起来，我依旧打心眼的觉得自己是如此的幸运。今天呢，我要讲一下华贸会。华贸会是一个非政治色彩的民间组织，我们鼓励和发扬中澳间友好的贸易及文化交流。对这场如其来的森林火灾，我们深感痛心和惋惜。太多的家庭 失去了自己的居所，太多的珍惜的动物失去了生命。Like all Australians, I have been deeply saddened by the devastating bushfire. Life has been lost. Homes have burned down. Precious animals have died. The image, the vision, which we show later on, it has been very hard to watch. 那些画面呢，的确令人不能去目睹。Tonight, the Chinese Australian community is doing our part to help the people affected by this devastating bushfire. Tonight, we want to raise as much money as we can. 今晚，我们各界华人相聚一堂，让我们凝聚起来，共同为本次的火灾的贡献发出我们华人的正能量。Your kind donation this evening will go direct to some organization doing amazing work. 你们的捐款将直接的捐赠于如下的机构。第一，我们会捐给夸拉 Hospital， 对帮助治疗那些火灾中受伤的夸拉们。第二，我们会捐给 Blaze Aid， 将帮助我们的农场工作人员重返家园。第三，我们会捐给 Bushfire Brigade， 他们是本场火灾中的日日夜夜坚守在前线，为我们救火的英雄们。Kuala Hospital is a wonderful organization. Fire around Port Macquarie devastated the Kuala population. I have been told 350 koalas have sadly perished so far. With your help, the Kuala Hospital can save burned koala and help regrow the population. The second organization that we're going to contribute to is called Blaze Aid. They've been helping our farmers get back to their feet after the bushfire. They do wonderful work in helping disaster-affected areas, helping rebuild families and local community. They do things like fix out buildings and build new fences. And of course, the fire brigade. These are the heroes, and we have some of them here tonight, who have helped out day and night try to control this terrible fire. Tonight, we might want to recruit as many volunteers as possible to join this brigade. 今晚我们也希望有更多的志愿者可以加入到这个 brigade 的战队。最后，我想说，请伸出你的援助之手，献上你的一份爱心，为本次的山林大火贡献一份你的力量。Please deeply, the people affected by this awful bushfire need our help. Please donate what you can. Your money will make a difference. Tonight, we have people already pre-pledged for this particular event. I can proudly tell you people that we have raised close to 390,000. Don't you think we are wonderful? Yes. Thank you.
女士们、先生们，大家好。Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Ven Tan in particular as chairman of this wonderful event this evening, representing ASETSA, but also the New South Wales Australian Chinese community. And there are so many of you here tonight, many distinguished guests. Please excuse me not for identifying you individually, but you are all very much appreciated for what you are doing tonight. Can I also acknowledge a couple of my political colleagues at the head table, Philip Ruddock, the Mayor of Hornsby, a former Federal Minister of many portfolios, and Chris Mintz, who was introduced as the Honourable, and even though he doesn't have that title, can I say he is honourable? And he represents the opposition here tonight. I'm a member of the government, but I'm also Speaker of the New South Wales Parliament, and I bring the good wishes of both the government and the whole Parliament. And can I say thank you firstly to Auntie Donna, and I too acknowledge the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. But thank you to all of you, because our great state, and that's our state, New South Wales belongs to all of us and we belong to New South Wales. And our state's been devastated by drought and fire, particularly in the northern regions. To date, 6 lives have been lost, over 1.5 million hectares has been burnt, and almost 700 houses destroyed. Over 5,500 farms have been affected, and over 2,000 animals have perished. There have been 57 fires that have reached emergency warning levels, and emergency alerts were used on 152 occasions. And to witness destruction on that scale at the very beginning of the fire season is simply unprecedented. And the reality is that there are a lot of Australians out there who are doing it tough, with serious challenges still lying ahead of them. Many will struggle in the lead up to Christmas and beyond as summer threatens and risks the loss of all lives and livelihoods. So I'm so heartened that tonight we've come together to support these Australians with a spirit of generosity and a spirit of compassion. And while I encourage you all to donate, I acknowledge the almost $400,000 that Dr. Van Tan indicated has been raised tonight. What a magnificent effort. Can I say that the New South Wales Government also is providing support to communities in hardship through its recovery efforts, through evacuation centres, through disaster welfare, assistance points and assistance lines, through investing in a community recovery package. And I can quote lots of millions of dollars, but can I say that in terms of a demonstration of support from the heart, tonight is a huge contribution and very, very appreciated not only by the government but by the broader community of New South Wales. Look, there are many people who are surrounded by the blackened remains of their lives and their property, but I'm sure that they take great hope and great heart from seeing the sign of support here tonight and the sign of hope, which is a symbol of great heart and great compassion and great Australian contribution from all of you here tonight. And it is a time when, let's acknowledge, quite frankly, the loyalty of some people from Chinese heritage has been called into question. But tonight's event shouts a message of dedication, commitment and support to the broader Australian community from our friends from the Australian and in particular the New South Wales Chinese community. So you should all be very proud and you should be congratulated for your wonderful contribution, not only tonight, but to our great state of New South Wales and to our country. Your love of your state and your country is clear. Thank you so much and congratulations on what you've done tonight. Xie xie, goshi goshi.
Very much, ladies and gentlemen. Just wonderful to be here with you all. I'm representing Jodie McKay, who unfortunately is interstate, but did want to be here to celebrate this wonderful evening with you all. I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land in which we meet. What a wonderful event to see a full house in support of those who need it most. Those that are suffering from what is an unprecedented threat from bushfire emergency. I wanted to acknowledge Mayor Ruddock and of course the Speaker of the New South Wales Legislative Assembly, Jonathan O'Dea, and Ben, a good friend who has no doubt worked hard to pull this all together. $390,000 from this wonderful community to volunteer firefighters, and it really demonstrates a simple but unique point about what it means to be Australian. When things go wrong, we're all in this together. We circle the wagons and make sure that if someone needs help, we dig deep. And that's what this community has done tonight. I think if you look at volunteer firefighters in particular, there's a fella named Bruce Annette, who in the last week was firefighting as a volunteer and had to leave the fire that was approaching his own home because he was required to help save someone else's home. I mean, that's the dedication of a volunteer in the world's biggest volunteer firefighting force. But they can't do it alone. They're just volunteers. They need the financial support of everybody in New South Wales. And it's wonderful that you're all here. This is yet another example of the boundless generosity of the Australian Chinese community, as if we needed any more proof of it. And I did want to say and take this opportunity to say, whether you're a fourth generation Chinese Australian family, or you've come to Australia in the last month to study at one of our wonderful universities, the message from the politicians from the Labor Party and the Liberal Party in a bipartisan fashion is this: we are proud to have you, we are lucky to have you, what a wonderful evening. And I know that when things are bad, when circumstances get out of control, the Chinese Australian community will dig deep for a simple premise: we are all in this together. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much for your very generous and warm welcome. Can I share in the acknowledgement of country, pay my respects to our Aboriginal forebears, and can I acknowledge particularly ASETCA and many community organisations that are here tonight. Can I thank Ben Tan for his very generous and moving address. I was delighted to hear the two speeches before me from Jonathan O'Dea and Chris Minns, because they reflect something of what I think about the way in which people who come and settle in Australia make a contribution to this nation and help in its path to the future. I often have to attend citizenship ceremonies. In fact, I welcome many people who take out Australian citizenship with a welcome. And it's a welcome that says, if you make a commitment to this country, you respect our democratic values, you respect the rule of law, you are just as much entitled to be Australian as anybody else. And I say that very deliberately because something like in this state, more than 30% of our population is in fact overseas born. And these are larger proportions than you find almost anywhere else in the world. There are only two countries that have a greater proportion of their population overseas born. Australia is third after Israel and Luxembourg. Most people think it's probably America or Canada. It never is. They're smaller in terms of their overseas population than we are, proportionally. I say that very deliberately because you would think that if cultural diversity was a problem, we would have some of the most difficult social problems of any country in the world. But we don't. I often say it's not perfect, but here in Australia we do it particularly well. And I think that is demonstrated not just tonight, because I have attended over decades functions like this organised by many Chinese organisations, some of them represented here tonight, that have raised millions of dollars to help not only charities here in Australia, but also those abroad. And I know that that is a commitment that people make when they say, you are neighbours. We are your neighbour and we want to help you. Now I know the rural fire services. In Hornsby we have a very, very large group of people who are involved. They've been fighting fires throughout the state at this time. We have had fires through the Hornsby Shire. People are somewhat surprised when I said on our ABC the other night that I first fought a fire at the age of 14 years in Hornsby, and I don't want to give too much away, in 1957. Now I grabbed a Hessian sack which I put in some water and went with a fellow who later became the head of our rural fire services, Bob Schofield, up to Hornsby, where one of the churches was taken out, a number of properties were lost, a fire swept up through the Galston Gorge. Tremendously damaging, close to Sydney. Your neighbours. So isn't it wonderful that you can say to them all, we are just as much Australian as every one of you, and we're here beside you in this time of emergency, and we want to assist in every way we can. And I just say thank you to ASETCA, thank you to all of those who have put tonight together. It's a wonderful charitable effort. You ought to be proud Australians. Thank you very much.
现在我们要进行一个特别有意义的环节。是的，现在我们要颁发杰出公益贡献奖。第一组杰出公益贡献奖，中华经贸文化交流促进会，他们赞助了10万澳币，谢谢他们。
And we would also like to invite Honourable Jonathan O'Day.
我们颁发第2组杰出公益贡献奖，他们是澳洲潮州同乡会。林辉元捐赠2万澳币，林进文捐赠2万澳币，薛水华捐赠2万澳币。
Lamar Parkston
捐赠2万澳币，陈新慧捐赠1万澳币，郑松明捐赠1万澳币，杜荣捐赠1万澳币，黄炳文捐赠1万澳币。董明光捐赠1万澳币，黄炳贤捐赠1万澳币，吴伟仪捐赠1万澳币，洪天峰捐赠1万澳币，董威南捐赠1万澳币，澳星国际传媒捐赠1万澳币。请以上各位嘉宾和林锦山、陈日坤、殷建林、林良珍、陈新慧、杜荣、董威南等代表到台上领奖。 献奖。
Would now like
获奖者是周光明博士，捐赠5000澳币；李国兴捐赠5000澳币；倪耀茂捐赠5000澳币；澳洲东莞同乡会公益堂捐赠5000澳币；亚太集团捐赠5000澳币；洪文渊捐赠5000澳币；澳大利亚深圳社团总会捐赠5000澳币；新州统促会捐赠3200澳币；陈少伟捐赠3000澳币。
the Pink Elite Group
捐赠3000澳币，澳洲精英女企业家协会捐赠3000澳币，澳洲三明商会暨同乡会捐赠3000澳币，澳大利亚长乐商会捐赠3000澳币，金世界海鲜酒楼捐赠3000澳币，请以上嘉宾和团体代表到台上领奖。有 捐赠。他们是澳大利亚画院院长王明科、澳洲水墨画联盟主席孙明才、著名画家陈李丽、陈平。有请各位艺术家到台前来领奖，有请洪会长为他们颁奖。吴伟慧。 请听澳大利亚，我可爱的家，还有一首让世界充满爱。
Street
演唱王姿平、吴振荒，女声二重唱 You Raise Me Up， 演唱张岩、杜磊，三人小组唱相亲相爱，演唱秦佳宁、吴振荒、苗劲松，请欣赏。
如何 算下我每一个梦想。 闯往梦中加精彩，天下相聚遇上爱，共生千里万心志成一脉，今夜万家灯火时，或许可闯往梦中加精彩。原来深情到钻石口水道，现在渐渐的怀抱。年轻的心跳，痛不再骄傲，眼中上现你微笑。万叶黄河水，像一句龙入海，龙珠刀剑与狼尾。潮起好人相会，就这个相会，一路上。追，天下相聚遇上爱，共生千里万心志成一脉。今夜万家灯火时，或许可闯往梦中加精彩。天下相聚遇上爱，共生千里万心志成一脉。今夜万或许可闯往梦中加精彩。人才生知道，我年轻的心跳，穿时空隧道，梦不再骄千里万心志成一脉，今夜万家灯火时，或许可闯往梦中加精彩。天下相聚遇上爱，共生千里万心志成一脉。今夜万家灯火时，或许可闯往梦中加精彩。
I'd just like to say on behalf of the Koala Hospital at Port Macquarie, thank you very much. The hospital has 4 full-time staff, including a full-time leaf collector for the koalas, and 150 volunteers from the area to care for the koalas in need. And to receive that money, I spoke to them earlier today. They will be absolutely delighted. So on behalf of the Koala Hospital at Port Macquarie, I'd like to thank the Australian Chinese community. Thank you very much.
An organisation, a volunteer organisation that grew out of the Victorian bushfires in 2009. During the present emergency, we have 7 camps operating with volunteers, rebuilding farmers' fences. Over the years, we've worked in every state of Australia and we've built thousands of kilometres of fencing. And we believe that we've mended many lives. We work alongside the farmers. As I said, we're 100% volunteer organisation, grew out of those devastating fires in Victoria where 2,000 homes were lost, 173 people died, and thousands of kilometres of fence was restored in Victoria. And since then, we have undertaken many camps in every state of Australia, and currently we have 7 camps in New South Wales operating in conjunction with local communities and 1 in South Australia. Thank you again for your very, very generous donation to what I believe is a very worthwhile cause.
For Jackie Leo. He's been publicised recently in the mainstream media, but he is a volunteer firefighter at the Hornsby Fire Brigade. He's a very special guest tonight, and he's going to talk to us about volunteering with the aid of a PowerPoint presentation. Introducing Jackie.
On behalf of the Rural Fire Service officially, just a drop of the ocean as one of the over 72,000 volunteers with our base in New South Wales. So, which Crystal mentioned that it's the largest volunteer firefighters organization in the whole world. Say, next please. Okay, all right. These photos, I can just quickly go through them. This is just illustration for doing. It's the North Shore somewhere. I can't remember. That's where now we're going to the Gospel Mountains. Okay, I think we can just quickly go through the photos. So yes, our Hornsby Brigade at the fire ground. Right, that's construction fire which happened a few weeks ago. The man was made. Okay. Alright. Okay. So next is that's this Tuesday when we went to Killara. Actually, I think. Yeah. So we helped the residents for removing their fallen trees. Okay, next please. Alright, so we do the community engagement, which we introduce to the people with their fire safety instructions. Say